It's a great one right here. I got Coach Rod from South Plantation High School. Coach, big one last week. We talked about you wanting to come into the game with Stranahan and do some things to be able to get yourself ready for October and that whole stretch run going into the playoffs. And 62-14 win obviously means you must have looked good on both sides of the ball. Let's talk about that game a little bit.
Yeah, we got out to a fast start. Made some plays early. Made some special team plays, so that kind of took us over the edge quick. Um, so it was good. It started good. We still got some areas, we need to work, of course, but we was happy with the outcome.
And obviously, I mean, talking about special teams, obviously at this time of the year is a good thing because that means if you can get all three phases of football working well in October, that obviously looks good in the playoffs. Talk about how well you've done it, being able to get offense, defense, and special teams working together.
Yeah, that's been a part of what we're trying to really get figured out, trying to figure out the sweet sauce for what that personnel looks like. You don't want to play a lot of your ones, but you have to
Hmm.
on both because all special teams because it becomes more and more important as you get later in the season, and we're seeing that. So we're playing more and more whatever you want to call ones on special teams, so we can make some plays in that area.
And from a coaching standpoint, what are you guys talking about? Obviously that's something you guys sat down, you kind of discussed as things that you wanted to approach. What are some of the other things that you've talked about that you want to focus on for the rest of October? Obviously, these last couple of weeks before it's time for playoffs and time for that big run.
So my kids hear me say beating the air and us versus us a lot because we want to make sure that we're executing. So before we line up against anybody, before we prepare for everybody, we must be able to beat the air and to execute what we're trying to do. So, I mean, that's kind of the focus now. Of course, you want to break teams down and do all of that, but you can't beat the air, man. We're not in a good spot. So we're getting better in that aspect. We're executing more and more, but unfortunately, we're just not where we want to be yet. And we still have time. So
Sure. It'd be crazy if we didn't talk a little bit about Kamari Cooper, who's
mhm,
doing big things right now, not just for you guys, but in the county. He's over 1,000 yards right now.
mhm.
In the county with 95 carries, 1,053 yards, and he's got 11 touchdowns. So, that 175 a game, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What has Kamari been able to do? And obviously, on even a bigger scale, obviously, those unsung heroes on the offensive line. What have you guys been able to do running the ball, and how have you been so successful at it?
Right. Those guys are blocking, man. They're old school, getting a hat on a hat, being aggressive, working, and we teach them blocking, getting north, and that's what we're doing. Kamari is just he's a talent. He's learning patience. Myself, I coach the running back, so we talk that every day. We talk about patience. We talk about taking the 5 yard plays as well as the big ones. So he's doing a great job where he helps us even more. Again, like I said last week, this guy's catching the ball unbelievably and blitz pickup. We live in blitz pickup. So he's doing well in that aspect as well.
And you talked about catching the ball and blitz pickups and things like that. Obvious, throwing the ball, your quarterback has got 1,885 yards himself. So you've got it's almost a pick your poison type of deal. It sounds like with you being able to throw the ball as successfully as you are, Cooper running the ball and then him catching it out of the backfield. You got you have a number of receivers, I should say, who are over 100 yards receiving. What has been your key to balance, and how have you been able to balance your offense so well?
Right. So the quarterback, man, is protecting the ball. We love Nixon's play, where he's came from the spring until now. He was always a good talent, but he's kind of understanding, um, when to take the shorts and all of the basics. So
Mhm.
Nixon is he's getting us in and out of good plays, and that's kind of balancing out the entire offense. People are low in the box against Kamara, and we just kind of want to take what people give us, and he's doing a good job of getting us in those situations.
Is there something that offensively you've been able to you've been able to do well, but it's just we still got to tweak it, and it's just not quite there yet?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, we're we just gotta we want to go faster.
Okay.
That sense of urgency, we hadn't gotten that where we wanted to get it yet. Um, and man, you can never want to be more and more aggressive, and that's just what we teach. Again, things are gonna get harder here in a second. This week, and it's just gonna continue to get harder. So we want to continue to get more and more aggressive and be more and more quick with the tempo of the offense.
Got to switch over, obviously, to the defensive side just a little bit here,
Yep.
because you scored a lot of points, but you're
Right.
holding teams this year, which
Right.
that's for a head coach. That's got to be something that makes you sleep a little bit better at night. You're holding team 14 points this past week, zero the week before that, 18, 14, 20. So you're holding teams on that defensive side. Your defensive leading your defense in tackles right now. Caleb DeClaire's got 38 and an interception. So 16 of those solo tackles. What is your defense doing so well? And talk about what success you're having on the defensive side of the ball.
We're just we have an emphasis on just tackling, man. Again, we talk if we can run, block, and tackle, uh, compete with teams, and that's it's kind of one of the things we talk and we focus on is run, blocking, and tackling. With this defense, it was some of the athletes we do have. They're lining up now. They're getting lined up. We're just getting better as a group. The defense is now kind of getting into a groove of stopping people and tackling, man. So we're aggressive when we need to be. We line up and play basic defense, but more importantly, man, we tackle. We want to tackle, and we can't get enough of that. So we're tackling better than we were at the beginning of the year. But once again, like I said, we're about to turn a corner where we have to be better and we have to tackle better, and that's the challenge.
And you talked about tackling. We just said DeClaire's leading at 38 tackles right now, but you also have McKinnis who's got 30. Um, and when you look at on the sack side of things, uh, Samaj Brown who's got 5 sacks right now in the year.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
oh yeah.
it's one of those things where it sounds it just seems I should say like defensively that aggression, and you love when a team takes on that the head coach's
Mhm.
attitude and mentality, and it seems like tackling and that hard nosed part of the game is important to you, and I'm sure it sounds like your defensive coaches as well.
Yes, yes. You get an opportunity to come out and see practice. Man, we try to make that thing so tough because like you said, we want that to be a part of who we are and what we do. You said Samaj Brown name, man. I tell you what, that kid is special.
Mhm.
He moved over from receiver, defensive end this spring. Never had an ego, never had a problem with it, and he's never played it. And man, I tell you what, um, he is a problem, especially in the pass rush settings. He can play, and his energy just goes throughout the whole defense. Man, he plays so fast.
And that's saying a lot. I mean, I'm a former receiver. I'm a former receiver coach. Those receivers don't always love the physical
Right,
side of the game.
right,
So to
right.
be real, so
Yeah,
that says a lot, and that's it's big. So now going forward, what is this week's game? What are you looking? What are your keys to the game, and how do you take a next step after last week?
right. Tough team. We got South Broward coming up. Tough team, man. I mean, they've been the conference champions here in the last couple of years. I know. Um, you know, Keys to the game, and I know it sounds repetitive, but tackling, man. We have to tackle. They have some good athletes, strong athletes at quarterback. Man, we got to line up and we got to tackle this guy. And offensively, we just want to be aggressive as possible. We love to throw the ball around um, as much as possible. So we just want to be aggressive, but we must tackle this week, and we're putting an emphasis on it. So at practice, we'll be tackling. We'll hit that ground a lot this week just to get in the rhythm of tackling because I tell you what, these guys can run.
Coach, I've said it so far. We've been blessed to be able to work with Dave and Buster's in Oakwood, and they saw a show and they want to be a part of it. So they're giving us an hour of free gameplay to all the coaches are able to nominate someone who was a player of the week, which is great for the we really appreciate that, and they say that because of the hard work that you guys do and the players are doing. So want to give that hour of free gameplay over there at Dave and Buster's in Oakwood. Who's your player of the week last week? And that big win against Stranahan.
This player of the week, this last week, we'll go with the quarterback. We'll go with Nixon, man. He took some early shots, in beginning of the game and bounced back. And man, he played well. He got us in some calls and he got us moving and just showed some toughness this week that we hadn't seen from him. So that I think he's deserving of it.
Coach, we appreciate it. And I think this is, again, I appreciate you joining us. And I'm excited because now it's October and we're getting
Yeah,
closer and closer to where it's starting to count a
yeah,
little bit more. So, so
yeah.
these talks we have are starting to get a little bit more in depth, I should say.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh,
I appreciate the time, Coach, and good luck this week.
all right. I appreciate you.